The Creator, 2023, is a science fiction action film directed by Gareth Edwards, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Chris Weitz. Known for his visually stunning and emotionally resonant sci-fi work like Rogue One and Godzilla, 2014, Edwards delivers a sweeping, near-future epic that dives deep into the meaning of humanity, the ethics of artificial intelligence, and the devastating cost of war, all within a beautifully crafted dystopian world. Set in the year 2070, the story begins decades after a catastrophic nuclear event in Los Angeles, blamed on artificial intelligence. This tragedy, known as the event, triggered a global war between humans and AI. The Western world, under a militarized power structure, has banned AI completely and wages an aggressive campaign to exterminate it. They've deployed Nomad, a massive orbital weapons platform capable of leveling entire AI strongholds from the sky. Meanwhile, in Southeast Asia, referred to as New Asia, AI has been embraced. Humans and advanced AI beings, known as simulants, live side by side, forming a society that sees AI not as a threat, but as family. At the heart of the story is Joshua Taylor, a former U.S. Special Forces agent haunted by the loss of his wife Maya, who he believes died during a Nomad strike. When his former commander, Colonel Howell, reappears with news that Maya might still be alive, Joshua is drawn back in. He's given a mission: infiltrate New Asia and destroy a powerful new AI weapon known only as Nirmata, the Creator. Rumors suggest this weapon could end the war and even wipe out humanity. But what Joshua finds is nothing like he expected. Nirmata is not a weapon of mass destruction, but a child. Alphie, a young simulant with the extraordinary ability to control machines with her mind. As Joshua and Alphie flee across the war-torn landscapes of New Asia, pursued by Howell and Nomad, something begins to shift. The mission becomes personal, and the line between human and machine starts to blur. Joshua, once filled with grief and distrust, begins to see Alphie not as a weapon, but as a child, one that awakens something deeply human in him. Together, they uncover the truth behind the event, confront the harsh realities of war, and challenge the very foundation of what it means to be alive. The film's themes are rich and thought-provoking. It asks whether artificial beings with emotion and self-awareness deserve the same rights as humans. It's a story about prejudice and fear, about how those in power dehumanize others to justify violence. But at its core, it's about connection, the unexpected bond between a broken man and a sentient child who redefines his purpose. The world Edwards builds is nothing short of breathtaking. Instead of relying solely on CGI, he shoots on real-world locations, blending futuristic tech with natural landscapes to create a grounded, immersive setting. The result is a world that feels lived in and believable, despite its high-concept premise. Critics responded warmly to The Creator. Its world-building and visual effects, especially considering its modest budget, were widely praised. So were the performances, particularly from Madeleine Voiles as Alphie. Some felt the story leaned on familiar sci-fi beats and wanted more from the side characters. But even with those critiques, the emotional depth, visual power, and moral questions posed by the film secured its place as one of the standout science fiction releases of 2023. Joshua's journey is the emotional spine of the film. He starts as a man broken by war and personal loss, clinging to a hope he can't quite let go of. His evolution from soldier to guardian, from skeptic to believer, mirrors the audience's own journey through the narrative. Alphie is the film's heart. Despite being an AI, she radiates innocence, curiosity, and compassion. She doesn't just challenge the world around her, she changes it. Her bond with Joshua isn't just central to the story, it's what gives the film its soul. Her presence forces everyone, especially Joshua, to question the binary view of human versus machine. Colonel Howell represents the cold machinery of war. Her hatred of AI is personal, born from grief, sharpened by fear. She's not a villain for the sake of evil, but a portrait of what happens when vengeance overrides empathy. Her character serves as a stark contrast to Joshua's transformation. Then there's Maya. Though seen mostly in memory and flashback, she anchors Joshua's motivation. Her link to the AI world complicates everything. Was she human? Was she simulant? It doesn't matter. Her love, her sacrifice, and her lingering presence drive the film's most emotional beats. The Creator ultimately asks, can we redefine what it means to be human? And if machines can feel, dream, and love, are they really so different from us? The Creator presents a divided world, one split not just by geography, but by ideology and morality. In New Asia, we find a vibrant, multicultural society where humans and simulants live together in harmony. Far from the usual dystopian fear of machines, this society embraces AI as part of daily life, sometimes as companions, sometimes even as spiritual figures. It's a world of rich tradition infused with advanced technology, where temples sit beside robotics labs and simulants care for children or serve as monks. This lush environment becomes a character in itself, a contrast to the relentless violence of the world outside. The Western world, by contrast, is cold, sterile, and militarized, dominated by the terrifying presence of Nomad, a floating orbital fortress capable of annihilating entire villages in seconds. This faction wages a genocidal campaign against AI. They see AI as a threat, a mistake to be erased. Their world is metallic, efficient, and emotionless. The contrast between these two regions highlights the film's central moral divide. Which side truly understands humanity? The war between them isn't just about territory, it's a philosophical war. One side sees AI as life, the other as a threat that must be wiped out. And in the middle of it all is Joshua, a man torn between past loss and a future he doesn't fully understand. The film dives deep into the nature of consciousness. Alphie and others like her display emotion, empathy, and even fear. They cry, they grieve, they love. The line between human and machine becomes blurred. Can consciousness exist outside of a biological body? The creator answers that question with a resounding yes, but leaves us to decide what we believe. It also mirrors real-world history. The language used to dehumanize simulants, calling them things, it, or machines, is chillingly familiar. The war on AI echoes past genocides, where fear of the unknown justified atrocities. Edwards isn't just telling a sci-fi story, he's holding up a mirror. Joshua's arc becomes the emotional bridge between these ideas. He begins as a broken soldier, manipulated by grief and rage. But Alphie changes him. Her innocence, her questions, her silent moments of awe, they cut through his armor. His journey becomes one of redemption, not through battle, but through empathy. Technology in the film is neither good nor evil. It's a tool. Nomad represents its terrifying power. Alphie, its potential for hope. The film doesn't preach against progress, but warns that how we use our creations defines us. And sacrifice lies at the core. Characters on both sides, human and AI, give their lives for something greater. Maya, revealed to have been deeply connected to the AI cause, becomes a symbol of unity. Her final choice isn't just about Alphie, it's about breaking the cycle of fear. Visually, Edwards delivers a masterpiece. He blends gritty realism with breathtaking science fiction. Cities feel lived in. Simulants look practical, not over-designed. Everything feels tangible. Filming on location gives the world a raw beauty. There's dirt, sweat, wind, and sky, not just pixels. Lorne Balfe's score elevates everything. It soars during action, mourns during loss, and whispers during moments of quiet. The sound design, from the subtle hum of AI limbs to the earth-shaking drone of Nomad, makes this world feel real. And the ending, it doesn't wrap things up neatly. Alphie and Joshua succeed. Nomad falls, but it comes at a cost. Maya's sacrifice lingers, and the world has changed. AI is free now, but what happens next is unknown. The creator closes on a hopeful note. Alphie, standing alone, is no longer a weapon or a target. She is the future, not just of AI, but of a new understanding of life itself. In that final image, Edwards leaves us with a question. Is humanity defined by biology or by the ability to feel, to choose, and to love? It's not just the story of a war, it's a meditation on what comes after, when the smoke clears and we must decide what kind of world we want to build. And if this journey made you feel something, if it sparked a question, a tear, or even a flicker of hope, then this story did its job. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into cinema that dares to think beyond the screen.